What's up everyone, welcome back to another PTB developer update. The 8.3.0 public test build has come and gone. After spending some time reading through your feedback, we've made a series of adjustments before the 8.3.0 update releases on all platforms. In this post, we go through each of them and provide some additional context. Alright, see what adjustments they've made. Mori update. The Ivory and Ebony Momentum Mori offerings once again allow the killers to kill survivors who have been took twice. Thank goodness. I don't think anybody wanted this changed at all. It's just a weird change. I know Ebony and Ivory Moris don't really change the outcome of the game. It might prevent someone from sabotaging or flashlight saving by mooring them, but most of the time it really didn't do anything, but people just enjoy them. So that's a good thing they reverted it. Retired. The Cypress Momentum Mori offering has been retired. I don't really like that. See what the devs have to say. We received a lot of feedback about the changes made to the Ivory and Ebony Momentum Mori offerings during the PTB. This came down to a loss of mid-match skills and group photo opportunities, as well as a concern that the blood point reward would encourage unfun behavior. Basically what they're saying is they don't want someone to just chase the last survivor out, try to slug them, so they can get that blood point. With that in mind, we have reverted the changes to the Mori offerings. As a result, the Cypress Momentum Mori offering is now obsolete and will be retired. We will offer 1 million blood points as compensation for any unused offerings, which you can claim simply by logging in between October 8th and October 17th. Alright, I don't know if, is that for each Cypress Momentum Mori? That'd be a lot. Alright, so I don't know, I'm not a big fan of retiring offerings in the game. I kind of miss some of the old offerings that I was able to use, and they just retired them all. And it's just kind of removing some unique aspects of the game, even though that offering wasn't used that often. Skull Merchant. The Skull Merchant gains 5% haste when a survivor is scanned within 5 seconds of placing a drone or changing its rotation. Increase the hindered effect when scanned by a drone by 8% was 5. Now we're talking about minuscule changes. Increase the drone rotation speed to 95 degrees per second was 85. Not that big of a difference. It'll be just a little bit faster. Remember, you only have one drone line. Decrease movement speed while deploying a drone or inspect a radar to 4.4 was 4.6. So she's going to be just a little bit slower when activating her drones. I don't know about this. She's already just an M1 killer. Now she's going to have some slowdown. Fast faults are no longer detected by drones. I never had any issues with this. Alright, so you're definitely going to have to change the drone line rotation to get any use out of Skull Merchant now. So there's going to be some strategy when using her. So we'll see how I feel about this when I play her, whenever this patch releases. Dev notes, while this update is intended to reduce the Skull Merchant's strength, we received feedback that the changes may have gone too far. They definitely have. We've done some further tweaking and found a compromise between the old and the new version. We also reintroduced the haste effect for a short time after a drone is deployed or its rotation is swapped. This will reward the killer for using their power effectively, rather than setting and forgetting or randomly gaining haste from survivors across the map. I didn't realize that this was a thing. Interesting. We intend to revisit the Skull Merchant in a future release for a larger rework. Alright, so the Skull Merchant has been through so many changes, and no one in the community really likes her. And they've definitely nerfed her quite a bit. I don't know what I think about this, to be honest. She was just an M1 killer in the PTB. And the drones really didn't do much for me. But maybe with that 5% haste, it might give me something. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Hillbilly. Increase overdrive, chainsaw movement speed to 12 meters per second instead of 11.5 meters per second. Okay, so it's going to be just slightly better. We're talking about really small changes. I played Hillbilly during the PTB, and I did not upload my recording because I was struggling so much. But I was also playing on Midwich with all the new obstacles in it, and so I was running into just about everything. And every time I was at a loop, I had a hard time drifting around those loops and getting anybody. So it'd be nice to see if that 12 meters per second will actually catch people at loops. Hopefully he's still fun to play. That's my biggest worry. Was this nerf too much? We'll see. Alright. Many found that Hillbilly's movement speed during the overdrive was a little low during the PTB, making it feel similar to its normal chainsaw movement speed. We have increased it slightly, lining it between the PTB and the previous live speed. I don't know what I think about this. I know it was just a little bit too strong with overdrive. And the PTB just felt really, really bad. So I don't know if this 12 is really going to make things just a little bit better. I don't want them to be nerfed too much that people stop playing Hillbilly. That's my greatest concern about this. We'll see what happens. Distortion. Reintroduce tokens. Tokens now recharge while on chase up to a maximum of 2. Alright, that's good. It used to be a maximum of 1 in the PTB. Now it's 2. That's a little bit better. Dev note. Many found the single use of distortion to be very limiting, so we have reintroduced the token mechanic. These tokens are now recharged while in chase rather than being in a killer's terror radius. This will prevent distortion from hiding a survivor for the entire match and reward those who play well during a chase. Alright, so I think this is a great counter to Zanshin Tactics and a few others that if you're in a chase and you might be able to lose a chase, they catch up to you again, you get your distortion back, and you throw the pallet, they can't see you. So yeah, I think this is a great idea, especially against Zanshin Tactics and Predator. This is going to be the counter to that. So really up to you if you think that Distortion is going to be worth it. I think it will be. Zanshin Tactics. New survivors who drop a pallet have their aura revealed for 6, 7, and 8 seconds. Change. Reintroduce aura reading for pallets and vaults within 32 meters. I kind of never found any use for that, being able to see pallets. Unless you want to find a pallet that was dropped for Spirit Fury or something like that. Maybe you'll use it. I don't see any use for that. Whatever, maybe someone will. Removed. No longer reveals the aura of survivors near drop pallets. So basically from what I'm understanding is only the survivor who drops a pallet will be revealed. And any survivors in the area will not have their aura revealed. That's just a good idea. Still going to be very strong on Pyramid Head. Dev note, though rarely used, some players found niche uses for the original Zanshin tactic effect. We don't want to stifle that creativity, so we have brought it back. Constant aura reading around drop pallets proved to be a little too strong on the PTB, so we have replaced this with a temporary aura reveal after the pallet is dropped. Alright, so not too much difference at all. This is still going to be really, really strong on Pyramid Head. I'm definitely going to use it over I'm All Ears. Alright, next one. Corrective Action. Corrective Action once again turns missed skill checks into good skill checks. I don't like that. When Corrective Action activates, reveal the aura of survivors who missed a skill check for a few seconds. Corrective Action no longer has a range limit. Alright, so anyone on the map that misses a skill check, doesn't matter where they are, in relation to you, they're going to have a good skill check instead. So maybe a killer pushes a survivor off a gen, and they miss a skill check, it'll become a good skill check instead. And depending on how much progress that generator has, especially if they're like 90% done, that 10% regression after a missed skill check would have been very significant. Unless you have Corrective Action, it's going to counter that, so you're not going to miss a skill check. And you'll be able to keep more progression on that generator, which is really nice. Dev note, we challenge you to push things to a limit on the PTB, and boy did you ever, Corrective Action had some strong combos and we're moving into a new design. Corrective Action will once again convert missed skill checks into good skill checks and make it more appealing. It will work no matter where you are on the map. This makes it far less dependent on being right next to someone when they happen to miss a skill check. Alright, let's see in the live version how effective this is going to be, if I'll ever even use it. Maybe I will get some use out of it. It'll be interesting. I do think that this perk should work for yourself if you're having some internet issues. Maybe it's being a little finicky for that day. It should be able to work for yourself, and it doesn't. That's my complaint about this perk. Deathbound. Effect now ends when losing a health state. With the Oblivious effect being removed, only when hooked. Deathbound ended up being active for far too long in most cases, which switched it to deactivate when a health state is lost, but kept the other improvements as is. It's still going to give you a lot of information on where the survivors are at, so we'll see how useful it is in the live version. Alright, so that's everything in the developer update. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time.